lot of companies say a lot of things, but don't do a lot of things. This company says and does.
Welcome, everyone, to the Driving Vision podcast brought to you by the Zeigler Auto Group. And here with me, Auto Group Director of Talent Development, Mike Van Ryn. Welcome, Mike.
Hey, thanks, Sam.
Be sure to subscribe to the podcast, like it if you do, and leave a comment. Coming up this episode, Team Zeigler announced as an elite winner for Milwaukee's Best and Brightest companies to work for. We talk with the teams at Kenosha Subaru. We go there now. Hey, everybody, welcome to this special edition of the Future of Zag Driving Vision podcast, Zeigler Special Edition, where we get to celebrate an award, a first ever of its kind across the Zeigler Auto Group, involving some of the Zeigler Auto Group's newest family members. And for that, we have with us today Director of Talent Development across the Zeigler Auto Group, Mike Van Ryn. Mike, welcome.
Thank you, Sam.
Mike, isn't it cool to be here to celebrate this Best and Brightest first win for the Zeigler Auto Group ever? Best and Brightest companies to work for elite designation in the Milwaukee area. Mike, what does that mean? How did we win it?
Well, it's a huge honor for us. And as you know, Sam, we've been a Best and Brightest company to work for 17 times in West Michigan, 10 times Chicago, 2 times in Milwaukee.
Yes.
And nationally, we've won 5 times, believe it or not. But we have never won an elite award. So a huge tribute to all 4 of our Wisconsin stores. And Mike Byan, you got your team from Subaru Kenosha with you. Can you introduce who you have with you, Mike?
Yeah, we have right in front of me, we have the Assistant Service Manager, Ace Salinas, Sales Manager, John Miller, Sales Manager, Naya Zuganellis, and our Service Director, Matt Rybert.
Awesome. Thanks for being here, Mike. And a special day for you. Happy birthday.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks for being here. Huge accomplishment to your team and to all of our Wisconsin teams out there. So thanks for everything that you do. We've never received the elite status before for Best and Brightest, and there were we were one of only 3 companies in the region to win that. So one of 3 companies. Huge honor. Got to ask a question, Mike, to you and your team members. What makes your team special, your culture special and unique?
For me, it all starts with the people. We always talk about to not rush the hiring process, make sure we have the right people. And I think it also makes it easier that from Zeigler's side, they do such a great job of casting what that vision or what that culture should look like. So it's easy. So basically, there's an outline for us to basically follow and try to align with what that vision is. So, but again, it's always the people.
Absolutely.
It's always the people. And I'm fortunate for the people we have working here, for sure.
Yeah, you got a great team there, and we get great teams throughout our Wisconsin stores in that region. Subaru is known for giving back to the community. What's your favorite way that you give back to your community through Subaru?
Toys for Tots. We do a Stuff a Subi event by the holidays. We have our showroom full of, I guess last year was 2 cents, and we try to fill them up with as much toys as possible so that we can donate. And it's usually a huge showing. So it gets bigger and bigger, seems like every year.
Absolutely. Thanks, Ace.
Can I just say, Mike, one of the cool things about Team Kenosha Subaru is when you see them in social media, and we see them, Mike, all over the place. You see them on Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, everywhere out there. I think one of the cool things you can tell about a team with great culture, deserving of an elite recognition, is just the happiness and the smiles that are on their face. And Mike, you mentioned the Subaru Love Promise. That's a promise that is made by the manufacturer that entire team is bought off in. It just exudes from you. So Mike Byan, how do you do that? Like, how have you created this fun culture where people just seem to be so engaged? You're surrounded by people that seem to love to come to work.
Well, again, it starts with the hiring process. But, for me personally, the Subaru brand, that love promise is aligns with who I am as a person. So,
yeah.
That's what drives me. And then I think once people start getting into it, last year we just won for the first time the community award for being out in the community. We've never won that award. We had a podcast about that, but that was huge.
Yeah.
But, there's so many things that Zeigler and Subaru align together. I'll share one. We just got done delivering some blankets to the cancer center for people that's going through chemo. And I'm fortunate enough to know one of the nurses, and so she was sending me pictures of some of the customers modeling in their blanket, and actually one of my good friends was there and received one of the blankets as well. So it's just those type of things, and you're making a difference. And I think once the team starts seeing that, and then they get behind it. So I think that's what you're seeing.
And isn't it weird? Like in the car business, we sell cars. We service cars. People come to us for something they could go anywhere for. And maybe this is an open question, but to anyone in the room, like I hear about getting to deliver blankets to a cancer ward and changing the life of people who you serve as a result of that act. What does it mean to you to be employed at a place for a brand and a company that allows you to have such an impact in the world? The ripples in the pond are immense, right?
Yeah, for me, it's fun to see being here a few years, and it truly is more than a car dealer. And I think when we were bought by Zeigler, it opened the floodgates to so much more potential and opportunity, and seeing everything at a higher level and having resources and the validation of, hey, you're doing the right thing, just keep going. And it just makes you want to buy into that and have everyone around you involved with that stuff. So it's just fun to be able to do things that are away from just numbers and cars, to do good things.
And one of Subaru's mottos is more than a car company, so that's exactly how, we believe. And it's just awesome. It's the perfect team with the perfect brand, with the perfect group. It's a win-win for everybody.
I love that motto. Mike Van Ryn, don't you think we should have that for the auto group almost? We are more than an auto group. We could sell snow cones to people in the North Pole, right? And people watching what we do as they do you at Subaru Kenosha would think, this is an elite place to be. I want to be part of it. They're doing something cool that's kind of changing the world out there. And man, props to you all. Blankets like that, all the different things you're involved in. Yes, we change people's lives because we're selling cars that they need. We're treating them fairly. We're delivering an ultimate experience, but you're deserving of that elite recognition because you're going above and beyond, Mike.
I think that one thing that's really important too is that we do have a lot of these bigger things that we participate in, but we try and do things big and small. One of the things that you've seen us doing all over social media is like our random acts of kindness, and all that is just direct customer appreciation. So that's been super impactful too. I mean, talk about making someone's day, just to get a thank you and a little bundt cake waiting for them when they get home, from their favorite service advisor, from their salesman, or from a manager that worked with them. I think it's just really important to remember we have to impact the community, but also the people in the community. So
Naya, I was going to bring that up. I love that you're doing that. And it's so fun to see you watch that and it brings a smile to your face. Is there one random act of kindness in particular that stands out to you?
I think that they were really fun. Last year around Valentine's Day was really cool. That's when we did those little bundt cakes. But it was just awesome because one by one, we walked around to the salespeople. Hey, who's your top 3 people? People who've made an impact. Somebody who you think could use a little bit of extra love. A great customer. Someone who's in on a regular basis. Let's go make their day. And what a fun afternoon, to get with your team and go out and find these people and show up at their houses. I mean, they loved it. I felt like we were on like a reality TV show, knocking on their doors and like, whoa, we're here. So it's fun, it's exciting, but that's what creates like these bonds throughout our dealership. And I think that goes back to what Mike said, like that's really where we talk about the people, we're all a family here. So we support each other, we listen to one another. And now we've got a great auto group again that supports us too. So it's been really positive the past couple of years.
And I think we incorporated the diamond drops with it when we went to the, because we wrote them a hand note on it, and that's what I think that's the one to set it over. So again, linking up the Zeigler culture and some of the things that we're doing, it's totally awesome.
Yeah. So Mike Van Ryn, for our podcast listeners out in the world that don't know what the heck a diamond drop is, you've got to share that, because when I first became affiliated with the auto group, I thought, diamond drop, like this is insane. We sell cars. We don't do diamond drops. What is a diamond drop? Like, will you tell us what it is and how it's helped to enhance our culture of recognition and really giving back in unique and interesting ways to each other?
So a diamond drop, Sam, is a form of recognition currency. So I say it's like a high five that keeps on giving. And it's a notepad that has our values on it as an organization, our logo. And you can write any team member a note of appreciation or thanks that you notice them doing something extraordinary that ties in with our values. And also, top performers love to be recognized, right?
Yes.
And we like to recognize and celebrate great performance. So always want to be out there looking for somebody doing something great, recognize them, thank them, and just let them know how they're appreciated. A lot of times, if you receive a diamond drop from a coworker or a team member, it's even more meaningful than if it comes from a manager. So we're all empowered to be able to look and recognize others with a diamond drop. We don't have to be managers to do that.
So just as a test of this, let's do this. Raise your hand in the room there. So we've got 5 team members sitting there. Raise your hand if you've received a diamond drop. So everybody, are there any stories where it kind of changed your world? Like where you got it and you're like, that kind of brightened my day to hear that recognition.
I think I've got a couple from people that I wouldn't have thought what I did for them meant as much as it did. You know, I mean, I think some of the stuff, just the way I am, I like to help. And obviously for some people, they saw it as it was a huge, huge help to them. So it made me feel good that it meant that much to somebody else to recognize me for it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been a couple times I've actually received diamond drops that came through the mail from 4 or 5 other people from different stores.
Tim is an example. I remember those. I used to get those from him. Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, Mike Van Ryn did it once. Mailed me one.
Mike?
Yeah. So I'm just saying. So when not only the diamond drop, someone taking the time to go through that, and all of a sudden you go into the mail and say, "Dang, you know, this puts a smile on your face."
It's interesting you say that because we live in such. I don't want anybody out there to think, hey, you know what, the auto group, they're all really nice people and there's no expectations, there's no standards. Like, we really perform at a high level, right? And there are high expectations for what we do. And maybe Mike, all the Mikes, there's 2 Mikes, Mike Bine, Mike Van Ryn. One of the things that's cool about this is, in addition to all the pressure to perform, in addition to all the expectations for us to play at our highest and deliver at an obscene level, we get to tell each other, great job. And to me, some of the most meaningful diamond drops have come in the moment when I've been under the most intense pressure. And candidly, even when I've thought, you know what, I screwed up, or I haven't been my best, or no, I gave my all and I felt like it just wasn't enough. And it candidly meant the world, whether it's Mike Van Ryn, Mike Byen, you've written me a couple before, many of you in the room have. It's cool in those moments of pressure, which turn coal to diamonds, to get acknowledged. Because when it's tough, that could be the piece that says, keep going. And I think that's another piece that's deserving of this elite, best and brightest companies to work for. High expectations, high commitment to each other to deliver and perform, but high praise and recognition, Mike Byen.
Yeah.
Or Mike Van Ryn.
Yeah, well said, Sam. There's a lot of research out there too that shows that as you increase recognition and appreciation, the bottom line increases, performance increases. So that's just a huge part of our culture.
Well, again, to your point, we do have high standards and we do perform at a high level. The diamond drop for us, or at least for me, gives us an opportunity to catch people doing things right. So that's what we use it for. Because I mean, sometimes everyone gets focused on what everybody's doing wrong. I want everybody to start focusing on catching people doing things right. And that just reinforces policy, reinforces procedures.
Mike Byen, in a place where we have high expectations, don't you think it's sometimes the case where we're harder on ourselves than we actually should be? Like,
100%.
We can actually show up, do our best, grow, sometimes make some mistakes, be worthy of recognition like the diamond drop. And it might be that recognition, which is, hey, you know what? You didn't do as well as you wanted to, but you actually did well. And just keep up that progress. Anybody there from the team have a thought about that idea?
Yeah, I mean, there's been times at the end of the month where, a few trucks come in, you got all these deliveries piling up and you're at the desk, you're going crazy. Everyone is hitting you in every direction. You leave at 9:30, just everything out there, and you're almost to a breaking point, and then in the morning you come into a diamond drop thanking you for everything you've done at the end of the month for people, and it's like a jump start to a battery, get you going again.
You have another question, right, Mike Van Ryn?
I do, yeah. Let's ask our team here what they think of this. So great cultures and companies give their team members things to look forward to, and I know we talked prior to this, but what are some things that you look forward to that Team Zeigler does?
I mean, for me, I'm a big proponent of the Jim Craig call. That was being with this group that no other group has ever invested as much in speakers and things of that nature. But I've been fortunate enough to have more and more team members be able to get on that call and participate. It's interesting to see how people's thought process changes after one of those calls or being on some of those calls. It's so to me, that's something to look forward to. I know we have, I think, 4 or 5 of them a year I don't know the exact numbers, but that's something I really look forward to.
Yeah, I look forward to that as well. I mean, you get to these classes, even when we go over to Honda, and then you feel like, all right, now I can share that with my team members, or maybe I can be the example of what I just learned. And it's always better yourself. And I look forward to bettering myself every time. So
it's awesome. I have something I look forward to, Mike Van Ryn. At the end
What's
of
that?
this year, for the first time in a long time, we're coming to Chicago at the year-end party. I love karaoke. I love a band. I love good music. I love a time to celebrate together. And I'm not promising any karaoke, but I could be convinced. I think Mike Van Ryn, Mike Byan, me, Naya, like maybe it's the entire team from Subaru Kenosha. You guys should all come up on stage and let's celebrate together. Yes? Are you in?
Yeah.
I am so in.
Yeah.
Give me the mic.
Yeah.
So I have a question as we kind of come to the end of our time having this conversation. So a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago, Subaru Kenosha were part of a different auto group. Nothing wrong with that. Great group. They large in the Wisconsin area. And you were, all of a sudden, it was announced, you will soon become part of the Zeigler Auto Group. It's an announcement that's terrifying to anyone anywhere because it's change and it's unknown. Mike Byan, maybe start us out. What was going through your head as you were thinking about that transition? And how did you navigate that? And the reason I bring it up, give a little commentary, we won't announce it here, but it'll be in the press soon. There are 2 new stores that will soon become part of Team Zeigler. And ironically, you're sitting in a Subaru facility. Both of these 2 new stores are Subaru facilities. And so there are soon to be team members across that state that are thinking much the same as you thought. So if they're listening to it, share with them a little bit the thoughts that were going through your head and kind of how you resolved with that. And then I'd love to hear how the experience has been. But first, what were your thoughts?
Well, the transition itself was probably one of the craziest ones I've ever been through. I got a phone call from the previous owner on a Saturday afternoon and just said, oh, by the way, I sold. I thought he was joking. He wasn't, obviously. And he said that AZ would be, Aaron would be reaching out on Sunday to talk. So here we are, we're in the middle of a big Saturday. We're having a big day. I find out we're sold. But don't tell nobody, of course. Can't tell nobody, 'cause that'd be bad.
Oh.
And then the next day I'm talking to Aaron. So at that point it was, we thought we'd never be sold. We were doing well. We were top performers. We were number 1 in that group. I mean, it was we didn't think we'd ever be sold. So at that moment it was nerve wracking. All the thoughts go through your head. What's about to change?
Yeah.
Who are they going to keep? They normally get rid of the higher level people first, and then they start down. They bring their own people. So all those things start going.
Is it a big corporation? How does our pay? Will we still be able to sell cars, right?
Yeah.
Just to add on that a little bit, I remember vividly everybody from Zeigler walking in the door, and we're getting a presentation from Aaron. We go back to the desk, Mike's sitting to my right, and I had just this look on my face of fear, panic, anxiety. Mike's like,
yes.
Are you okay? You don't look okay. And I'm like, I don't know, And fast forward to this point, it's just been such a 9-day difference, a breath of fresh air, and so much more opportunity and education, and it's just been great.
So that is awesome. What feedback would you give to our soon-to-be new team members that are going through this transition that may give them some peace, or maybe not? Maybe you want to say, hey, be scared, but I don't think that's what you're saying. So
I actually received a text from one of the guys from the new store. We do some trades with them because, like you said, they are Subaru.
Yes, both.
He asked me, hey, you're there? And I said, yes. How is it? I said, I don't know how it is now for you, but I can 100% guarantee after this, it's going to be 100 times better, and you're going to be very happy. And I left it at that.
That's awesome. And in what way better? When you say better, what should their minds be thinking towards as kind of hope?
It just opens up so many doors, like I said, for resource education. Like you were saying before, the expectation is so high, but so is everything else on the other side. The education, the reinforcement of positivity. It's just everything at such a higher level. It's all better.
The biggest thing I would say that, to the new people coming in, just embrace what they're hearing. A lot of people are like, oh yeah, here's another song. They just don't believe it, and blah, blah, blah. Embrace it, because it's real. I mean, the culture they talk about, it's real. When the resources that are available, it's real. Opportunities for growth, it's real. So a lot of companies say a lot of things, but don't do a lot of things. This company says and does.
What is it about change, no matter when it comes for us, that we have an opportunity to either have sort of faith and belief and lean and run towards it, or the other side is doubt, fear, and run away, right? And what you're saying is lean into it with a little bit of faith and hope and run towards it. And you know what? There's probably out there equal chances you could be right or wrong. At our auto group, you're going to be right, and you're going to get payback for that hope. But it's a tough moment, isn't it, Mike Byan?
Well, it's not easy, but I mean, again, we're all, we're in this business to grow and to move, and winners win. So at this point, I mean, you got to embrace it. I mean, you can sit there and,
Winners win.
be the negative Nelly of the world, and the sky's falling and all the other stuff, and aid will probably be short lived. But to me, it shows when moments like this happen. It really, I think that the true person comes out. You start seeing what you really have, and
Yes.
and I knew I had a good team here when the transition went through, and we didn't have a mass exodus. This is crazy. I'm leaving. No one left. And when they saw the HR people come in, and I felt like I was going back to basic training. I was getting processed. Go to this station. Go to this station. Go to this station. And that's what it felt like. But I mean, it was so organized. Right there, I knew I was with a good group.
Yeah.
I mean, that's normally a cluster.
So you think about our mission statement as an auto group, delivering the ultimate automotive experience to our customers and to each other, you could argue. Have you as a team become better through that transition at delivering to customers?
I think absolutely we have. I think the biggest part of it, just like Mike said with our transition, is it used to be we got an email once in a while from an owner that was kind of involved, and it was like, all right, what do we have to do? And now when we get an email, it's like, what do we get to do? So it totally switched our whole mindset where we look forward now to what's coming next and what's the next avenue we get to plug into, and how do we get to be better? How do we get to grow? And I think that takes a lot. It just speaks volumes from the kind of group that you're associated with, because these things are something that we all look forward to now, and we can't wait to talk and collaborate when we get back. And it just made a big difference in this dealership for sure. And I think it all just let us see kind of the light at the end of the tunnel in a bigger picture.
Just to piggyback on that, I think the other thing is that from the auto group side, the amount of information that you guys put out, whether it's parts and service, whether it's sales, whether it's individual salesperson, it's so good to be able to gauge yourself. But then from the people that work within the auto group, if you wanted to, like on the F&I side, if someone wanted to pick up the phone and call Charlie, who's at $7,000 a car right now, what are you doing? He will sit there and take the time and talk with you. A lot of other groups, like the last group we worked for, there's people you call that they didn't care. They didn't care about you.
You got a voicemail.
Yeah.
You got a voicemail, no return phone call. But again, I think the people in this group really care about each other, and that that's just a compliment to AZ all the way down, because you can't say that about every dealership or a group.
So Aaron Zeigler set the culture, and he's defended the culture, but there's no way it would persist if it weren't for members of the team like each one of you in that room, because it would not continue if it weren't for your efforts and your hard work. And I'll tell you, it's interesting. I've been involved with the Subaru acquisitions, learning about Subaru as a manufacturer. I don't understand why we haven't had 100 Subaru stores up till now, right? Like, it is so close. This concept of the love promise, the concept of talking about vehicles and the way we give back more than payments and trying to force people. Like, I love the culture, and you guys demonstrate that culture so well, and that culture has already been rooted so well into the auto group that it's just fun to watch. So as we transition to closing, Mike, we have a question we like to ask from Ben Nempton. So one of the traditions within the auto group is to have a speaker as part of the speaker series come and speak to us. Ben Nempton recently did that. And his question was, what, Mike? And we should go around the room and ask everybody what theirs is.
What is your bucket list item?
Naya, let's start with you.
What's on your bucket list?
We got to start with Naya.
All right. My bucket list item. Oh my gosh, pressure.
It is pressure.
It's a little bit of pressure. I guess my bucket list item is going to be to sing karaoke with my team at the Christmas party this year.
That's awesome.
To the bucket list as we speak. Now it's there. It's ranked number 1. So I'll see you guys in a couple months.
Can I come up on stage with you all? And we got to bring the cheetahs up. Fantastic.
You're the
I love it.
producer. We need you there.
Let's do it. I'm in.
I would say,
Rideberry.
what's on my bucket list? I just want to be the best that I am at what I do, and be the best version of me for my family. I mean, I think it sounds little, but that's my bucket list, is just keep getting better and better.
I love your focus on family too, by the way. So much of what we do, we often talk about this team as family as team. We do what we do for each other. We do what we do for our families. Such a strong why to get there. And really in both your answers is family. Mike, Brian?
A bucket list for me, go to Italy. I've never even been to Europe. I mean, I would love to, do that. Just the history, that'd be a bucket list thing for me.
Love it.
Yeah, I've never left the country, so I'd like to do that, travel somewhere abroad.
We need to do some traveling in this room.
I know the store needs to get out. Come on.
We really like vacation. That's our bucket list.
We have high expectations, right? So.
That's funny.
For me, my bucket list would be I want to go skydiving, and I want to do
Oh,
it
I'm
enough
in.
times so that I can go by myself, and then I can put
Oh,
I
I'm
can
not
put
in.
that as my
I'm
profile
not in.
picture. And it's just a lot of dedication, and I have a 1-year-old, so we'll see where my time is really put. And then I have a small minor bucket list. This is just kind of for fun, but I'd like to get a 3-peat on that jersey, just to make it sweet, you know.
Okay, well, Jim Craig, you heard it here first. We have a 3-peat applicant
That's right.
here.
Wow.
So.
Sure.
All right,
Never been done.
all right, Mike, bring us home, Mike Van Ryan.
Well, I just want to, on behalf of the organization and the team, we want to congratulate our Wisconsin stores for first ever achieving the Best and Brightest Companies to Work For elite status, a tribute to all that you do for each other and our culture, as well as our customers. And congratulations to all of Team Zeigler for your collaboration and for the high standards that you have in everything that you do. So thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
A big thanks to the teams at Kenosha Subaru for contributing to today's episode. Until next week, how are you driving vision today?